This video is about investment advice to my younger self. What I would do if I had to do it all over again, and why it's important is I basically lost a Lamborghini, a canary yellow Lamborghini. That's how much money I lost because I made some choices I probably should not have made when investing. So the story is I've been investing for over 40 years, okay, if I have to be honest. I started working caddying at a country club when I was 14. Then I worked at a restaurant, it was called Lum's, and then at night as a teenager, I worked the 11 to 7 shift, 7 days a week at Howard Johnson's as a cook, assistant manager. And that was even before I went to college. And I accumulated a lot of capital. So I initially had it in a credit union, and then I invested in stocks. First chance I got. And I parlayed that into a sizable sum. In those days, which was way back when, initially it was $25,000. I did it through undiversified investing, simply taking a technology stock or the hot stock of the month and investing. All boats go up in a rising tide, and in those days it was rising very rapidly. And since I was in a high beta type stocks that react at exponentially greater or multiples of the market, my investments went up too. I was living at home and socking every penny away. I don't know why I even did it. I live pretty frugally. I'm not materialistic, and really my interests were philosophy and history and to some extent investing. So I just took the money and kept on investing. Nobody told me to. It wasn't advice from my parents or anything. I was investing. I accumulated so much money so early on, it was unbelievable. Perhaps I could have bought a Lamborghini, metaphorically. Then I wanted to continue that strategy, and I invested in another hot stock that never went anywhere. In fact, it painfully went down. Not all at once, but slowly, slowly, slowly. Like a bad relationship. I knew I should have gotten out, but I just stuck in there because I was thinking maybe it would turn around. Never turned around. I held it for years upon years upon years, until it basically went to almost nothing. So all the labor and time of my youth went to virtually nothing because I was mesmerized by greed. So the lesson and the investment advice to myself should be asset allocate, or at least dollar cost average, or at very, very least put my money into a diversified fund. You don't have to be some general 50 bonds, 50% stocks. You can fly high. You can always fly high. You can put it in a small cap fund, which are small cap companies that generally grow faster than the market indexes. And again, I'm not giving investment advice to you, I'm giving it to me. So don't take this as investment advice. Again, 40 plus years in the market. I'm getting a Ph.D. in economics. I worked in the investment world, and I think I know what I'm talking about. You don't try to get rich in the stock market. It's just basically a place to store value for the long term. And you do that in a diversified manner. Dollar cost averaging in, and maybe some asset allocation. And you say, well, that's a lot of money you lost. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's just play. I have a great life. The best investment you could ever make is in your own business, not in indirect ownership like the stock market. The stock market, you think of it conceptually as a long-term store of value for money you're not using, you're not touching. And you slowly trickle it in. And there's always more risks being out of the market than in the market because people cannot market time. The amount of experts that have been telling you the market's going down for the last 10 years will be right someday. I guarantee they'll be right someday. But you never know when that day is, because every person who was an expert in the last downturn, they kind of failed in this downturn, or they failed to predict it. Rarely do you get people consistently predicting the market, and that's why most fund managers, I think it's almost like 90%, don't beat the indexes. So my advice to myself Just throw it all into a small cap index fund. Today you can buy an ETF and call it a day. Any additional money you have, invest it in your own business because you have direct ownership over that. And really don't take it all so seriously. It's only money. It's not about life. You win some, you lose some. But don't throw it all into an undiversified, all at once, you heard somebody say investment. It doesn't matter what the investment is, bonds or stocks or whatever. Just don't do it. Unless it's something like treasury bonds, treasury bills. Fairly safe, almost risk-free. We'll call it risk-free. So that's my investment. And then let's say you get investment advice to myself. Let's say you get mesmerized by a particular asset class. You're listening to YouTube and everybody there saying buy gold for whatever reason. Why not just buy a gold ETF? Why take physical hold of gold and make it a component, an asset allocation component of your whole portfolio? So again, I lost a great deal of money because of my precious, Lord of the Rings metaphor, just pure blind greed. And I don't think I could have gotten away any other way around it without learning that lesson. And maybe you hear stories of people with great wins or they made money. Don't believe it. I want to see their 20, 25, 30, 40 year return and performance. The stock market is about consistently being patient and waiting. It's not a place to get rich. Any investment is not a place to get rich. The only place you're going to get rich is working as an income, or two, having your own business. That's even better. Because then you're an entrepreneur, you control the value added and the process, and you can potentially get exponentially richer than the stock market. If I have $1,000, I put it in the stock market, I can expect, let's say, 10% return. I put $1,000 in who knows what, making soap and selling it on eBay, you can get $1,000 in a month. So just put it into perspective. Advice to my students or people that are younger, how to invest and what the stock market is. Not get rich quick. It's a place to store value for the very long term, consistently with asset allocation and dollar cost average. Okay, so again, I'm not giving investment advice, but that's my advice to myself. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have any questions about investing or anything else, leave a comment. Thank you very much. Have a great day. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. Enjoy life. I will. Thanks.